Hi everybody, welcome to Daily Space. It's Monday, February the 3rd, and at least if you're in the US, you may have gotten some rodent-based weather prediction yesterday that it's supposed to be an early spring. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, because honestly, I don't think that groundhog does a very good prediction. So don't worry, I don't expect the weather to do anything. I expect it to be crazy and unpredictable. All right, so let's get started on some science, why don't we? So I've got my script in front of me, and of course, once again, I'm reading it on my iPad, so apologies for me looking down. But welcome to Monday. The Earth continues to orbit, the sun continues to shine, and Betelgeuse continues to dim with no signs of going boom. It's a bummer because yesterday would have been a beautiful clear afternoon. I could see the moon in the sky. If Betelgeuse had gone boom, we could have seen a big beautiful explosion. It would have been gorgeous. As January ticks over into February, the days are getting noticeably longer, and what we are facing is the inextricable contradiction that there is less night, but what night we have is likely to have noticeably more aurora. Now, no one completely understands why, but it's been long noted that more visible aurora are near the equinoxes in September and March than there are other times of the year. Our best thinking is that it's something about the alignments of the Earth's and the Sun's magnetic fields, and it's just better at the equinox when the Earth's poles are both visible to the Sun. So while professional scientists are out there trying to figure out why these physics work this way, photographers are out there taking photos and having a ball. So last May, we talked about Steve, an aurora-like phenomenon that creates a series of parallel lines rising up from the horizon towards the zenith. This phenomenon was first noticed by amateur astronomers and was eventually sorted by the professionals, who linked Steve to electrons pouring in the atmosphere getting spread into lines by the magnetic field. So now, not even a year later, we have a second new atmospheric effect being identified by aurora chasers in Finland. Named the dunes, this newly noticed form of glow appears as horizontal lines extending from the normal curtains of the aurora, which have streamers reaching up towards the zenith. In this video, these bands appear to roil away from the main aurora. And let's see if I can actually show you this video. That's pretty gorgeous, I have to say. That was pretty amazing. I can show you that again and talk over it a little bit. By having multiple observers scattered over Finland observing this phenomenon at the same time, scientists were able to calculate the altitude of the dunes at being about 100 kilometers up in the atmosphere. This altitude was key to understanding what's going on. According to Minna Paulroth, a space physicist at the University of Helsinki and the lead author of this new study, for the first time we can actually observe atmospheric waves through the aurora. This is something that hasn't been done before. According to the press release, Paulroth and her colleagues suspect that the dunes are visible manifestations of a kind of atmospheric wave called mesospheric bores. Mesospheric bores are waves that propagate through the atmosphere, like ripples spreading in a pool, creating curls and folds that bend horizontally and spread out over long distances. Let's see if we can do that again and mute the sound. These kind of waves generally can't be studied directly because they're too high up to reach with weather balloons. But now, scientists know they can instead be studied during aurora events. This is a new and stunningly beautiful way to study our upper atmosphere. So I think that's a pretty awesome video. I really would like to go and see aurora because I live down in the south. I live in Atlanta. We don't get aurora in our sky. unless something really crazy is going on in the atmosphere, and so far I don't know of that having happened in my time when I was out to be able to see it. So we're too low latitude for that. So I would love to go somewhere like Iceland or maybe Finland and see these. And maybe even spend the night in one of those hotels they have that has the skylight above the bed so you can just lay there and look up at the aurora at night. That's where I want to go. And I don't mind going somewhere cold. That is not a problem. I'm kind of jealous because Fraser Cain gets to go on a lot of these trips and gets to go see aurora, and I really want to go on these. So you guys need to demand that we take one of these trips so I can go as a staff member and we can go and enjoy the aurora. Okay, let me switch over here to the next. Predicting when aurora is going to happen is part of the science of space weather, which includes studying the sun, watching for flares and coronal mass ejections, and predicting how our atmosphere and magnetic field will interact with the particles flung at us. NASA and ESA are getting ready to launch a new spacecraft to study space weather. Given the very bland name Solar Orbiter, this mission is slated to launch this coming Sunday, with numerous press events scattered throughout the week. And where we can, we'll bring you these events live here on Twitch. We often see a ton of news leading up to a mission's launch as the mission works to build popular support and engage with the public about their science. What we're seeing is the side effect of missions being judged in part on how popular they are. Hubble was rescued more than once by the public demanding it get serviced and supported. The mission that is now called Fermi was rescued from the congressional cutting block after people fought to save it when it was still named GLAST. Put simply, it's easier to get support of science and missions from funders if those funders know that the public and the press support your science and your mission. So part of getting this is selling people on the technological and economic benefits that come from space exploration. From a new press release from the United Kingdom Space Agency, we learned that in the UK they've been able to trace 4 pounds in economic benefits back to every 2.5 pounds spent on missions like this still not launched Solar Orbiter. To quote their key findings, the study found that £523 million of UK Space Agency funding put into the European Space Agency's space science program has generated £1.4 billion of income for UK industry, with a further £1.1 billion from partially attributed and forecast benefits. The investment between 2000 and 2018 created 306 jobs. The UK industry regularly secures major ESA contracts to provide mission spacecraft platforms, support mission operations, and develop major subsystems. So the report, commissioned by the UK Space Agency, also found the UK's investments in space science have led to the development of new skills in the sector and improved facilities, such as clean rooms, computing, and mechanical equipment. So while the UK is leaving the EU, it still remains part of the European Space Agency, and we're looking forward to seeing the science that comes as a result of these economic investments in spacecraft needed to explore our skies. And that rounds out our show for today. Thank you for listening. The Daily Space is written by Dr. Pamela Gay, produced by me, Susie Murph, and is a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. Want to become a supporter of the show? Check us out at patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. So now we will take your questions. Let me switch over to the chat so you can see what people are saying. And Dr. Pamela is with us in the chat today, so feel free to put your questions in. Try to use that purple circle with the purple star in it to note your questions. That helps us spot them because the chat does go by very quickly. Let's see. We've launched a podcast edition of this show. If you want a 10-minute chaos-free listen, click over to dailyspace.org and you can check it out. You can also find our blog post there every day, which has basically the script for this with all of the links and the images in there. And I usually get that up within just a couple of hours of us doing the show each day. Each live episode of Daily Space is archived on YouTube, so if you miss us here on twitch.tv, you can find us at youtube.com/c/CosmoQuest. All right, let's see. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so Hanny's Vorwerp says, so do aurora flow like a liquid? That's a good question. Starstrider says, sort of. Magnetic fields channel the excited particles. So it's like the magnetic fields kind of create the paths and the particles go through there. And it makes it absolutely beautiful. Zero's theory says, when will the mankind get off this rock and finally colonize space? And Starstrider says, no idea. It's always at least 5 years away. Yeah, whenever you go to a conference and they say, how long is it going to be before we do this? They're always saying, oh, it'll be at least 5 years. And DPI is right. Once we can keep people safe in outer space, and that is a challenge that we're still working on. Radiation is still a big problem. That's one that's going to take a while, and technology and experience and trial and error and a lot of other stuff to figure out, I think. Let's see. Veronica Cure says, does temperature affect auroras? That is a good one. So yes, what I'm doing now is I'm reading the questions and I am giving Dr. Pamela, Starstrider in the chat, some time to answer because I'm the producer. I learned this stuff through osmosis and exposure to it. So I don't know all of the science off the top of my head like she does. Starstrider says, I don't think so when it comes to temperature affecting auroras. It's more magnetic fields. That seems to be what channels the excited particles. And my throat is starting to give out. And Dr. Pamela says, when I stream, she can get more done, which is very true. We divide and conquer, and we do a lot of that during the week. A lot of times I'll jump in and record the podcast for her during the week too, because she does all of the scripts. So the science is good. Annie's Forward says, why are we learning all this about aurora now? That's a good question. I'm guessing it probably has to do with we have better technology to study the aurora, and we're seeing interesting things, and we probably have more people out looking at stuff. Technology and being able to have more, better, cheaper cameras. Sorry, I didn't mean more better. Better, cheaper cameras. That's true. More people can get out and look at it and gather more information and submit it. And you don't have to be a professional to do it either. This is why citizen science, or community science, I think is, as we're starting to call it, is such a big thing. There's a lot you can do without necessarily being a trained physicist or a trained astronomer. You can get out and look at aurora and take pictures and submit those. And stuff can be learned from that, and it's really cool. It's like when we all looked at pictures of Bennu. F Bennu. So many rocks. But we were able to do a lot because so many of us were able to look at those pictures of Bennu. So yeah. Yes. The obligatory F Bennu. Too many rocks. We're all kind of tired of looking at Bennu, I can tell you. So Larry Weird asks, aurora or plasma, right? And Dr. Pamela answered Haney earlier about the why are we learning so much. More people are viewing them and can document the details, and it's only from comparing photos that all nuances are discovered. Yeah, basically there's more pictures, there's more people submitting pictures, there's more people looking at the pictures and noticing differences, and just generally the fact that people can observe more things and record it and get more raw data, you can crunch the data and find more things in it. DPI 209 says Steve is plasma. Yeah, Steve, the interesting phenomenon they talked about earlier. Yeah, that one appears to be plasma. Sorry, I'm getting a ping from College Girl, and I had to send her a thumbs up on my watch. She forgot I'm streaming right now. So Star Strider says excited particles can be plasma. I don't think all aurora are plasma, but I could be wrong. RefsMatt says he shared the 1998 aurora to Discord. So if you're on our Discord, you can go and in one of those channels, tell us which channel, RefsMatt, one of those channels, they shared the aurora there. And there is how to log into our Discord. If you are interested, you are welcome to join our CosmoQuest Discord where you can talk to all of us. There's the link in the chat. Okay, yep, RefsMatt did in the general channel. So if you go in there, you can see a beautiful 1998 aurora. Let's see. AstroWise says Haney's Vorwerp, to Haney's Vorwerp, circumpolar humans, Norse as well as indigenous communities, have many origin stories for aurora. That is cool. DPI 209 says classical aurora borealis or australis, borealis being the northern ones, australis being the southern ones, is just photons from excited oxygen and nitrogen, mostly. I just want to go see them. I want to observe them. I want to go somewhere where I can sit there and see the lights dancing in the sky. Cameras are getting good enough that now we can see videos and take pictures of them. I think film, when we had filming cameras, it couldn't respond fast enough, so we didn't have good images of it until digital cameras got really fast. You guys can correct me in there, but I remember that images and videos are fairly new of being able to capture what's really going on in aurora. Haney's word was saying, Astro-wise, I was just thinking about how Eskimos are supposed to have so many words for ice. Wonder if they have a lot of words for aurora in the northern cultures and the southern cultures that have them. Have to remember it's at both poles. We should not be northern hemisphere centric here. Paranor asked, there's more study of the aurora from the ISS as well now. Yes, I think so. I know that in a lot of the photographs that we looked at from space, there were often aurora, basically images taken from the other side, looking down on them and seeing things kind of sparkle and splash across the atmosphere. So there's a lot of images that the astronauts take that need to be cataloged, and we were going to try to help with that, but we don't have money for that right now. So there's a lot of really cool information out there in images. So we're going to try to be able to work on some of them. Let's see. And now they're talking about snow cones in the chat. Larry Weird says, oxygen and nitrogen are exciting on any planet, especially at the triple point of water. Yes. We want to go places and see oxygen and nitrogen being excited on planets. So does anybody have any additional questions about aurora or about the solar orbiter that's going to be launched? I don't know yet what the schedule is for the press events this week, but if you follow us, we will definitely let you know when we go on live. And if it's not one of our regular times, then this week it's probably one of those events or some launch. I don't even know what launches are going on this week yet, too. That Annie keeps track of the launches, and Dr. Pamela keeps track of the press conferences and stuff like that. So just basically stay tuned. We may have some interesting stuff coming on today. Paranor says there is a Soyuz 2 on February 6th, which is the next launch. RefsMat says there are no toilets going to space this week. Soyuz 2 doesn't have a toilet? Is it just a supply mission? Are there no people on it? Yeah. And it's OneWeb. More streaking. I don't remember OneWeb. You may have to remind me. Just looking to see what everybody is saying in the chat. Yeah, I'm starting to fight off a little cold or something, and I did not catch it from Dr. Pamela or Annie because we are not in the same location. So I blame my own family, or friends, or random people in the grocery store, something. Paranor says OneWeb is similar to Starlink, sending 34 sats up. Okay. So more satellites in low Earth orbit, whatever that means. Yeah. OneWeb is like Starlink, but it's running behind in only 6 or 7 spacecraft in orbit so far, and their altitude is higher, so they should be dimmer. Well, that's good. Should be dimmer. I kind of wish Starlink would slow down and let us figure out how bad it is to have so many things there, but I do understand needing to get internet places, but it's a little frustrating. Paranor says it's actually a busy launch week. There's something on the 6th, 7th, 9th, and 10th. Okay, so it's going to be heavy towards the end of the week now. We may or may not air all of those. It will depend on when those launches take place and who is covering and whether or not any of those fall during any of our regularly scheduled shows. Hanny, I agree with you. If SpaceX found a way to dim its satellite, I hope they share it with everyone. Yes, I do. I agree with that. Broken Symmetry asks, can we get rentable multi-purpose satellites? I am sure those will start coming up before too long as the price of launching things into space gets lower and the availability of launch space gets higher. I am sure there will be rentable multi-purpose satellites going up at some point. Someone will find that as a good business opportunity. So yeah, I am sure they will become something like that. Maybe CubeSats. That's true. There are definitely going to be a lot more CubeSats going up because the cost is dramatically lower than it used to be. Kerbal says software-defined satellites will be a thing in a few years. Yep. And of course, JWST has been delayed slightly again. Sigh. Welcome to Monday. Pretty much like every Monday, I think, JWST gets delayed. So, yeah, sigh. Yes, we hate everything in pants, especially on Monday. I do wear pants, though, but they're yoga pants, so. That's the good thing about streaming. I can wear yoga pants. You don't care. It's great. Who wants a waffle? I am with you, Nightbot. I would love a waffle. All right. Does anybody have any additional questions? Because if not, I will go ahead and let us go. And I will get on to getting all of this stuff up later this afternoon. And I'm putting out Friday's Astronomy Cast here this afternoon as well. And getting things scheduled for the week. It's going to be a busy week. So just stay tuned. Pay attention. If you're not following us already here on Twitch, please do. If you can subscribe, we would love to have you. If you are not subscribed to us over on YouTube, please go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/CosmoQuest and click subscribe over there because it's free. And if you have any extra Gmail accounts, please subscribe them all. we're getting close to being able to do YouTube ads over there, which is great because it gives us income without costing you anything specific, so, other than time waiting on ads. But hopefully you don't have to wait on them that much. So please go over there, do that. Share with all your friends and family. Talk them into subscribing over there. Feel free to leave YouTube, our channel running for a while over there too, because we need a few hundred more views to get us all the way up to being able to do ads as well. See, I'm begging shamelessly for the ads because that's additional revenue without us having to work too much harder. So that is definitely a help. Thank you everybody for being here and for watching today, and I hope you, where you are, get to go out and see some beautiful aurora. If not, go check it out online. Thankfully, we can watch some cool videos and see some beautiful pictures. And we will talk to you later. Definitely go outside and go up. Go look up. See what you can see. Yesterday, it was a beautiful moon in the middle of the afternoon. So that was gorgeous. Once again, we're brought to you by the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicating to exploring the solar system and beyond. Dr. Pamela Gay does all of the writing for all of this, and she streams several days a week. Annie is one of our amazing people on staff, and she does the rocket roundups on Wednesday and covers a lot of the rocket launches. We have a wonderful volunteer, Dave, our Instro, who helps us with rocket stuff and satellite stuff, and he's amazing and volunteers his time. We have wonderful moderators out there. Paranor and everybody are out there working hard. And then I'm Susie. I'm your producer. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and occasionally I jump in and do this. I stream every Monday. Jump in and do some podcasts here and there, and just generally make sure all of the cats are herded where they need to go. So we are all the people you are supporting. Thank you so much for all of your support, and we will see you later this week. Bye-bye.